Good evening, folks. I hope all is well with you out there as it is with me over here. Today, I want to give my opinion, Marisa's opinion, on the 24th day of arguments. But most of all, talk about the most important thing, and that's the energy in this whole situation. And not just the energy within the whole situation, but dig into why I think things are going to turn out the way they're going to turn out, um, and how we can see that. Everything's mathematical, everything's science about biology because everything's connected biologically. So when you are dealing with energy and um, there is a lower level of energy and then there's a high level of energy. It's just like when you're not taking care of yourself well, you're in a low state of energy. When you take care of yourself, you're going to have more energy, you're going to have more positive things, you're going to be able to uh, do more. When you're in a lower state, you can do less, way less. So, same thing applies with everything, the mind, the brain, um, everything. So, we're going to look at some of the reasons. We're going to dive deep, deep, deep into some of the reasons why uh, we see this within this case. We see a lower side and we see a high side. When we think about good and evil, we all have it within us, and it's in its state. It is balanced in its natural purest form. It is balanced, good and evil within each one of us. So it can become unbalanced, and when it's in a state of unbalance, it is chaotic. It is chaotic, and it is uh, not managed. So this energy, this energy, let me see. This energy um, does not work. We cannot make it work when when it's not in a state of when it's not able to be managed, when it's imbalanced. It cannot work for a greater good when it goes against everything in nature. And that's just facts. Um, no matter, and we have just witnessed in this case how people try to push it and force it to work. Um, but logic defines uh, defy 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 defies it. Logic goes against it, so um, it cannot unless it cannot it cannot work. In this case, this situation, it did not work. It just couldn't work because the vibe in the courtroom, because with this energy that they had, Amber side, Amber Heard side of the case, they came in with an energy already, with a harsh energy, um, and and Johnny came in with truthful energy, wanting the truth to come out. That's all he wanted. But they had covered up the truth so well. At least that's what they thought. At least that's what they thought. But once again, like I said, I'm just going to pull one example out that sticks out to me, and that is when Camille asked her what was the obvious. Camille asked her, the Amber, the obvious that we all were questioning in our minds as we were listening to everything, viewing everything that this that Amber had laid out as her evidence. We all wanted to know, okay, for God, in God's name, why? Okay, because I watch crimes. I watch those shows where someone this it was a show, but I'm going to talk about that show later in a minute because it you know, they tried, like I put out a video that she was insulting intelligence for one thing. She was insulting the intelligence of anybody that was viewing this case, and just what she was telling us. So that defied went against logic. Everything she was saying went against logic. Uh, so let me get into what Camille had asked her, that her lawyer today addressed. Camille had asked her, why didn't you get pictures of yourself puff, puffy face, black eyed, really messed up? You cannot come into court with a picture with a face that looks, you saying you got beat up with rings on his finger. Rihanna, her face was disfigured. Most people that get beat in the face are going to be disfigured. They're not going to be able to put makeup on or arnica cream and say it's all right. You're not going to be able to do that. That defies logic. Scientifically, she was defying logic. Camille said, why didn't you videotape it? Him beating you. And this is where I'm going to get to a TV show that I watched. Well, it wasn't a show, but it was a documentary. It was true. Okay. It true happenings to this woman. Okay. She was pregnant. The woman was pregnant. Her boyfriend kept coming over to the house, having drinks with her. Hey D. So she started getting, she started, what'd she do first? She suspected that he was poisoning her, and he did poison her the first time, but she what she did was she was able to hide a camera. Now, in today's world, we have cameras. We don't have to hold a camera. What this woman did was she hid a camera in her kitchen on top of the ice box so that she can catch him poisoning her drink, trying to make her have a miscarriage. And by the way, she did have a miscarriage, but it was nothing she could do against this man because they couldn't connect it to her miscarriaging the baby. The drugs he gave her, but they were able to arrest him for drugging her, but they were not able to get him on the death of the baby. But like I said, they caught him in the act of poisoning her. If she didn't ever put those cameras up in the house, they would have never known what happened to her because he kept doing it every time he came over. And so trying to get rid of the baby. So Camille asked her, "Why didn't you videotape?" She could have hid cameras any place. She could have had somebody come in and put cameras any place if that was the case. But she didn't. And her attorney argued that, um, well, she couldn't possibly videotape it, giving her an excuse for something so that was logical. But they wanted to defy logic. So these people, her lawyers and everybody on her team were defying logic in every way. And that's my point. You have to do that. You have to go against the grain of nature to be within the lower energies of what is not balanced, not okay. And that's where they're at. They brought the energy in the room, unfortunately. It's a hard place to live, Elaine, I seen her smiling a lot. It's a hard place to live in. It's a hard place to be in. But sometimes, that's her job. She has to they have to support there's lawyers that have to defend murderers, serial murderers, and all these kinds of people that do so much evil stuff. It's a job that somebody has to do. It's a job that somebody has to do. And unfortunate for them, just like her sister here, she's so loyal to her Amber, so loyal to her sister Amber. So I won't stay on too long. So I thank you for being here, Dee. But that's just Maurice's opinion. That's my opinion on today's trial. And um, everything is, working out the way it's supposed to. When you have that energy, no one wants to be on that side. But it's in the air, that energy, that deception. Her sister here has been deceived and she's finding all the truth out while she's sitting here in court, unfortunately, Whitney. And she finding out that she had to lie for her sister when she believed her sister. She loved her sister and been dragged through the dirt. So this is It doesn't take you to it takes you to really dove into things. When you dig into things, you can feel the vibrations of that situation. You can understand that situation. And that's been in your God self, your higher self, to see things clearly for what it is, the truth. And it's highly important that you get into that state. It's highly important because you've got to view these issues. You got to look at them and see the light within them. So Johnny Depp got this because it's a lot of deception and those things we know those things never win. Look at our society today. Look at our society now. It's you know it's just the yin and the yang, the yin and the yang. So with that said, that's my opinion. True love, real peace, and the higher self within. So till next time.